Channel 11 News starts with severe weather Team 11 coverage.
Well, it's no April Fool's joke. A touch of snow there in Robinson Township as a band of snow showers move through the area. No trouble on the roads, but you will notice a big drop in temperatures. Meteorologist Jessica Faith tracking those changes in Severe Weather Center 11.
Yeah, and snow right now still looking scattered across the area. Biggest coverage right now in Westmoreland County and in Fayette County, where we also have the mountain ridges. We could have some light accumulation there, but for the most part, little to no accumulation across the area with the snow showers as we go throughout the rest of the day. Now, road temperatures are pretty warm today in the upper 30s, low 40s, and temperatures on the cool end of the spectrum. You're going to feel it when you walk out the door, feeling like we're in the 20s. Yikes. Feels like 21 this midday in Pittsburgh. I'm going to time out snow chances for the rest of the day coming up and also talk more about your wind chill values as we head later into the afternoon and evening hours.
All right, thanks, Jessica. Breaking down the past hour, the Allegheny County Health Department released its COVID update, and they are reporting 327 new cases after 2 days of daily case counts over 400. The health department has also learned of 12 additional deaths after updating its system with the state. 10 of those deaths were in March. Some encouraging news. Allegheny County is working to open a new vaccine clinic in McKeesport. The county signed an agreement with a location there, and it's working on staffing arrangements. Appointments are expected to open next week. The county also says it's close to rolling out its new vaccine registry. That will allow everyone to pre-register and then be notified when an appointment is available. We expect to learn when it will be open to the public by the end of this week.
I'm approaching 6 years in remission, and so for me, the privilege of getting the vaccine is like putting armor on myself so that I can celebrate many more years in remission.
She survived cancer, and now she wants to set an example for other people battling cancer who are afraid to get a COVID vaccine. She got her second dose this morning and spoke with Channel 11's Alyssa Raymond about how she's moving forward.
People diagnosed with cancer have a higher risk of being hospitalized because of COVID-19, yet none of the vaccines have really been tested and studied in cancer patients. A woman came here to UPMC on the south side. She celebrated a milestone today, and she's sharing her story with you.
The privilege of getting the vaccine is like putting armor on myself so that I can celebrate many more years in remission.
On April 6, 2015, doctors diagnosed Kathy Cohan with acute myeloid leukemia. She endured a series of treatments, including a stem cell transplant. 6 years later, almost to the day doctors told her she had cancer, she received a second dose of the Pfizer vaccine. Her oncologist, Dr. Allison Sagal, says the vaccine is safe. UPMC doctors say patients are not at a high risk for side effects from either the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine, regardless of their specific cancer type or treatment.
Every patient's a little bit different in terms of where they're at with their cancer treatment, and so it's certainly wise to talk to their oncologist or their other physicians about what their ability to respond to a vaccine would be. We do feel like it's very safe for almost all of our cancer patients. It's just a matter of timing when the best time to get the optimal response would be for their vaccine.
I think I'll continue to be very, very cautious, and but as things open up, and the summer will be good to have outside activities, maybe concerts, and just like I said, the normal things you always did.
That was just a taste of Kathy's story. Today at 5, you'll hear more from her and what her message is to other cancer patients as well as survivors. Reporting on the south side, Alyssa Raymond, Channel 11 News.
A shelter-in-place order is in effect at Pitt as the university tries to stop a surge in cases. In a span of 3 days, 29 students tested positive for COVID. 67 more students are in isolation. The order means students can only leave their dorms for class, work, exercise, or to get food or medical care. As we enter April, seniors are thinking about what this could mean for graduation.
It's not been the experience we really wanted, but it's the world we live in right now. We're trying to keep it confined so that we're all safe, our family's safe, and we keep everything safe for graduation.
The university says they'll keep the shelter-in-place order until the new case counts drop. The Allegheny County Courthouse is postponing jury trials for at least another month. Non-jury trials and guilty plea proceedings will continue using video conferencing. The new clinical trials confirm Pfizer's vaccine protects people for at least 6 months after the second dose. Our Samantha Manning joins us from Washington with what this means for long-lasting protection against the virus.
Pfizer and BioNTech say people involved in their phase 3 trial had high levels of protection against the virus 6 months after the second dose. The companies also say it appears to be effective against the variant of the virus that circulated in South Africa. That variant had doctors worried that it might evade existing shots. So this latest development is welcomed news. Health professionals say it's a critical step in helping us reach herd immunity. The Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine was given emergency use authorization by the FDA in December and was the first available one here in the U.S. Scientists are continuing to urge the public to get vaccinated as soon as they become eligible.
As more people get vaccinated, there's going to be a greater umbrella of protection over society.
So when vaccination becomes available, get vaccinated.
The 6-month timeline could be just the beginning. Because the COVID vaccines are still relatively new, it'll take time and further study to know exactly how long they're effective. More than 97 million Americans have gotten at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine so far, according to the CDC. In Washington, Samantha Manning, Channel 11 News.
Johnson & Johnson says it threw away some 15 million doses of its vaccine after an ingredient mix-up. According to the company, the dosage mistake happened at a Baltimore plant. Quality control identified one batch of drug substance that was not up to par. The company says the defective batch never advanced to the finishing stages. Despite the mix-up, Johnson & Johnson says it expects to deliver its vaccine at a rate of more than 1 billion doses by the end of 2021. A new campaign created by the Allegheny County Health Department looks to stop the spread of COVID misinformation. It is called Spreading Truth, Not COVID. The campaign features a YouTube channel as well as several social media pages. Health Director Dr. Deborah Bogan hopes it will reach a broad and diverse audience and address any concerns about the vaccine. A Pittsburgh man is dead and another is in jail after a fight at a hotel in Hawaii. Police say 30-year-old Abhishek Gupta was strangled early Monday morning. Police believe Gupta got into a fight with Benjamin Fleming at a vacation rental. Fleming, who is also from Pittsburgh, is charged with manslaughter and remains in jail in Hawaii on a $250,000 bond. Day 4 of testimony in the Derek Chauvin trial. The jury taking a break right now after hearing emotional testimony from George Floyd's girlfriend. Jay Gray reports from outside the courthouse in Minneapolis.
Hi there, and day 4 of this trial starting just like the previous 3. High emotion in the courtroom. We heard today from the girlfriend of George Floyd, Courtney Ross, who talked about the first time she met him when he was a security guard at the Salvation Army.
He said, well, can I pray with you? I was so tired. We had been through so much, my sons and I. And this kind person just to come up to me and say, can I pray with you? When I felt alone in this lobby, it was so sweet. And at the time,
Ross tearful throughout her testimony and at some points referencing drug addiction, that both of them had addiction to opioids. That's something that the defense team played on in their opening statement and something that's going to continue to be an issue in this trial. That's the latest from Minneapolis. I'm Jay Gray. Now back to you.
We may never know the exact cause of Tiger Woods' car crash. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Office says that investigators have determined the cause, but are not going to reveal details to the public until Tiger gives his permission. Woods is recovering from severe leg injuries after crashing his SUV in Southern California on February 23rd. Woods told deputies he didn't know how the car crashed and didn't remember driving. It is Holy Week for billions of Christians. For the second year in a row, traditions have been shrouded by the pandemic. Pope Francis presided over the Holy Thursday Mass. This Easter, much of Italy will be in lockdown, including the cities of Rome, Milan, and Venice. On Sunday, the Pope will deliver Mass from inside St. Peter's Basilica. The Catholic Diocese of Pittsburgh is urging parishioners to check with their church about Holy Week changes. Easter Mass is the most crowded service of the year, and because of coronavirus restrictions, many churches are requiring advanced signups to attend. Some churches will have overflow areas, but not all, and the diocese will live stream Mass like they did last year. New subsidies are now available through the Affordable Care Act. Customers will now pay no more than 8.5% of their income toward coverage, and lower income policyholders will get subsidies that eliminate their premiums entirely. It's funded by the pandemic relief bill that President Joe Biden signed into law last month. A warning from the Better Business Bureau. Beware of bogus websites if you use the agency's Speedy Travel program. Channel 11's Mike Holden explains how crooks are trying to trick people to get their personal information.
The Better Business Bureau is warning of a major scam, and it's targeting people just like this who fly in and out of Pittsburgh International Airport. The officials are warning to be on your A game and don't fall for any of it. As the vaccination rollout continues and COVID-19 case counts begin to drop, more and more folks are planning spring and summer getaways. The BBB says scammers are taking notice and cashing in big time. They're targeting airline travelers through a series of fake websites, specifically Global Entry and TSA PreCheck. Scammers will spoof and duplicate these government sites, all while promising a safe, efficient, and less stressful process. In some instances, they'll charge you extremely high fees, and they'll always ask you for personal information like your social security number, payment, and banking details. The BBB says if it seems too good to be true, it probably is.
The Better Business Bureau has been receiving a lot of scam tracker reports recently regarding con artists creating these lookalike websites where people are conducting just Google searches for TSA PreCheck, and they're clicking on one of the first search results, not recognizing that the website is really a third-party company impersonating the government site.
I'm now asking the Better Business Bureau the easiest ways to protect your finances and how to get money back if you fall victim, plus more from travelers like this about how they're working to protect their loved ones for Channel 11 News starting at 5 o'clock tonight. Reporting from Pittsburgh International Airport, Mike Holden, Channel 11 News.
Part of the pandemic protections for people struggling to pay their bills comes to an end today. What you need to know to keep the lights on. Traffic circles are popping up in Pittsburgh neighborhoods. They're supposed to make streets safer, but the one issue neighbors say the circles make worse.
Snow is falling. I'm sure you've seen it already, but how long will it stay with us? I'm timing it out on Storm Tracker coming up next.
I spring out of bed every day looking forward to doing this. It's just very fulfilling.
A local pharmacy owner excited to go to work every day and run vaccine clinics. What he thinks about the state's plan to make everyone eligible for a shot in less than 3 weeks.
I spring out of bed every day looking forward to doing this. It's just very fulfilling.
The head of a local pharmacy tells Channel 11 he's excited to go to work every day and run vaccine clinics in our community. Our Serafina James spoke with the owner of Spartan Pharmacy about the state's next steps and how they're preparing to bring more vaccinations to our community.
On Tuesday, Spartan Pharmacy put out an SOS on their Facebook page saying they were having a 1A clinic but had tons of available appointments, so much so that they were going to vaccinate anyone 18 and over. And it wasn't long before the call to get shots in arms was answered.
The more shots in arms, the sooner this is over.
Adam Rice, the owner of Spartan Pharmacy, has been working around the clock to vaccinate those in Group 1A. But when he noticed a surplus of open appointments for their Broughton Fire Hall vaccine clinic.
It was this clinic that had overdrawn some vaccine and was looking to make sure we didn't waste a single dose.
So Rice put out a call on social media for anyone who wants a shot to sign up. The news spread like wildfire.
We have to follow the laws and the rules and the regulations accordingly, but not to despite ourselves and sacrifice any vaccine.
Within minutes, Rice saw appointments scheduled with eager people ready to roll up their sleeves.
The opportunity presented itself, and I took it.
19-year-old Pitt student Ben Sauls says the link to the pharmacy site was forwarded to him and several of his friends. From there, they didn't hesitate to secure their first dose.
A lot of us miss our freedom, especially like leaving high school, going to college, and then just being pretty much stuck in an apartment or in a dorm. It's tough. It's tough for the mental health. It's tough for everything. So I think getting vaccinated will be the quickest way to get us out there, get our freedom back.
In the last 24 hours, Spartan Pharmacy was able to vaccinate nearly 5,000 people. That includes their clinic at the Oak Hill Apartments on Tuesday, which attracted hundreds of Pitt students.
This is the most fulfilling time of my career. I've never done anything like this before. I've never had such a response and just satisfaction.
And on Wednesday, the Pennsylvania Department of Health and COVID-19 Vaccine Task Force announced all Pennsylvanians will be eligible for the vaccine starting April 19th. Rice tells me he's prepared to meet the demand of the accelerated timetable.
We are ready. I've been telling the state, if you give me the vaccine, we will move it. The vaccinators are ready. We'll get it done.
In the South Hills, Serafina James, Channel 11 News.
If you tried to get an appointment on Spartan's website and didn't succeed, that's because so many people were looking for appointments. The server has since been updated and can handle more traffic. The pharmacy plans to hold more clinics every Tuesday and Wednesday. 2 local malls are set to return to more normal hours. Westmoreland Mall will be open from 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday. On Sunday, hours will be from 11 to 5. The Monroeville Mall is also extending hours from 10 to 8. On Sunday, they'll be open from noon to 6. The added hours come just days before malls can increase capacity to 75% under new state rules. A program that stopped utility companies from shutting off your power during the pandemic expires today, but help is still available. Here's a look at just some of the options: the American Rescue Plan Act, the Dollar Energy Fund, the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, and the Emergency Rental Assistance Program. West Penn Power told our partners at the Trib it will not turn off anyone's electricity today. The company will send customers a 10-day notice if they are on a list to have electrical service terminated. And each company has taken a different approach. According to the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission, 890,000 accounts are in danger of termination, and regulated utilities are owed a combined $856 million. If you're behind on your bills, you can call your utility company and either sign up for an assistance program or set up a payment plan.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
I'm sure you've seen snow. We've had snow come in and out, move about the area today. Not really snowing right now, but we have definitely seen snow in Pittsburgh on the quiet side of things, but still very cloudy and very cold. 32 degrees, that's the actual air temperature. Factor in the wind, strong wind at that. Northwesterly flow at 17 miles per hour. It feels a lot colder than that. We're going to talk more about wind chill in a few minutes, but I want to show you right now the latest look at the radar live Storm Tracker Doppler 11 radar. Again, look at how scattered the snow is. This is what I've been saying for a few days, and this is really how it's going to be today. Not snowing all in one spot. There will be breaks, but we're going to keep that chance rolling throughout the rest of the afternoon. So here's a look at Storm Tracker showing you that activity. We could have some brighter white areas on the radar indicating some steadier snowfall throughout the rest of the day, but still a lot of gaps in the coverage, and that will continue as we go later into the nighttime hours. I'm talking about the gaps will continue until the snow fades away. It fades away tonight and as we go into tomorrow morning, so fading away, and even that cloud cover fading away. Here's 3 o'clock in the morning while you're sleeping, the snow drifting away. So as we move closer to sunrise, conditions look much better. Not only are we getting rid of the snow, getting rid of the clouds, allowing more sunshine in as we wrap up this work week. Here's a look at the wind speeds across the area. Again, very strong wind in Pittsburgh, but notice Washington also elevated right now at 18 miles per hour. A 14-mile-per-hour wind in Greensburg, Somerset at 15. And wind gusts will be elevated as well. So we'll see wind gusts around 20 to 25 miles per hour, even a little higher than that. So we're talking about some seriously strong winds. I just showed you strong winds right now, again, gusting higher than that, and that would definitely aid in making it feel a lot cooler. And it's cold enough. We've had temperatures in the 30s all throughout the morning hours. We're keeping those temperatures in the 30s. Factor in the wind. I'm going to show you how cold it's going to feel with the cold air and the wind coming up in the next half hour. I'm going to show you for the rest of the day what you can expect it to feel like. And I'm going to talk more about this nice warm up if you don't see it behind me. Notice how our temperatures continue to climb. 40s tomorrow with sunshine, not bad at all. But this weekend, especially as we move toward Easter, picture perfect. Plenty of sunshine for your Easter egg hunting with a high of 64.
All right, thanks, Jessica. The Pirates start the season in just under 2 hours. That changes both players and fans will see this year. Millions of people are skipping the second dose of the COVID vaccines. The risk that puts the entire nation in next. In the middle of a huge push to get people vaccinated, we're learning some are choosing to skip that important second dose. A nationwide CDC study found that it's around 3.5% that are not coming back. That's about 4 million people. One dose of the Pfizer and Moderna vaccine will give you some level of protection, between 50 and 70%. But health officials say those numbers put herd immunity in jeopardy.
For every individual that is not vaccinated, it ultimately puts the risk of transmission higher to others.
At most clinics, you're asked to make an appointment to get your second dose when you get your first. A robot armed with virus-killing ultraviolet light is being tested on airplanes in Switzerland. The goal is to restore passenger confidence. UVC Technologies has been used for more than 50 years in hospitals and laboratories. The fact that the rays could be harmful to humans prompted the airline to seek an autonomous robot to carry out the task. One robot can disinfect a single-aisled plane in 13 minutes. Efforts are underway to stop local and state officials from imposing a vaccine passport mandate. It would stop any law requiring a person to show proof that they've been vaccinated before entering concerts, sporting events, or even a business. A representative from Ohio is working on legislation to block such mandates.
If only I can block these temperatures, because just the other day we were in the 70s. When will warmer temperatures return? I have some good news, so stick with us for those details.
I can't tell you how many times I've walked through the neighborhood and I've seen cars just speed through a stop sign.
And that's why more of these traffic circles are popping up in Pittsburgh, but the potential problems some people are worried about. touch of snow for the first day of April. This is a look this morning at Robinson as a band of snow showers move through. That snow still moving through parts of our area. And you're going to notice a big drop in temperatures. Meteorologist Jessica Faith joining us again with more on that.
Yeah, I know we were just in the 70s the other day, but we're not playing a joke on you. Maybe Mother Nature is playing a joke by delivering snow when we were just very much spring-like just the other day. Well, I have some good news. We are going to warm up nicely heading into the weekend, but right now we have to deal with that snow. We see a good bit of it, especially for our eastern counties. I'm talking about around Kittanning and Armstrong County, Indiana County, Westmoreland County, especially a good bit throughout Fayette County. So we're going to track that potential as we move throughout the rest of the day. It's going to continue to be scattered, though, so just keep that in mind. A big temperature drop since yesterday. We are 18 degrees cooler than this time yesterday in Pittsburgh, 22 for Washington, 23 degrees cooler in Greensburg. I'm going to talk more about the temperatures we expect in days ahead and give you a breakdown of what you can expect for Easter Sunday.
All right, thanks, Jessica. Traffic circles are popping up in neighborhoods all over Pittsburgh. They're meant to slow traffic and reduce crashes. While some neighbors like the change, others tell Channel 11's Joe Arena that there's one big problem.
This traffic circle I'm standing on in Highland Park is just one of a handful that have gone up to help slow traffic down. But some people in the neighborhood say the streets are just too narrow to help keep things safe. In fact, they say an accident could happen because of one of these. But others say they feel safer walking and biking this neighborhood these days. Sometimes the safer route from point A to B can mean driving in circles. At least that's what the city's Department of Mobility and Infrastructure is hoping for here in Highland Park. And today, a series of traffic circles like this one on Euclid Avenue have a lot of people talking. Madeline Barber says things are safer for her and her dog, Ginger.
In other neighborhoods that I've lived in other cities that I've lived in, they've done a very good job at slowing down traffic and making the neighborhood safer for pedestrians, for families, for people who walk their dogs. So I think they're a really good idea.
But just a few minutes after we spoke with Madeline, who gave these traffic circles a thumbs up, one woman who didn't want to talk on camera told me cars are still speeding through the neighborhood and many times not obeying stop signs. And it's not just cars. It only took us about 5 minutes to notice a handful of bicyclists ignoring the stop signs as well. And others say because the streets are rather narrow, the traffic circles are taking up space for larger vehicles, which in turn can make things dangerous for pedestrians. Kimberly Lucas has been the lead on the traffic circle program for the city's Department of Mobility and Infrastructure. And Lucas says while she understands these concerns, they took them into account when they built these circles.
We worked with fire and EMS so that they, when we had a pilot program, they actually came out with their fire trucks. We worked with the Port Authority and with Pittsburgh Public Schools.
And Lucas says the circles have also been designed with a mountable curb instead of a straight up and down design, allowing an emergency vehicle to be able to mount the curb if they need to increase their speed. In Highland Park, Joe Arena, Channel 11 News.
Developers of the former Civic Arena site say mistakes and unfulfilled promises will not happen again. The pledge made during a public hearing over the redevelopment of the Lower Hill District. Officials say they want to completely revitalize the area and be more inclusive of Black and women-owned businesses. The first phase will be anchored by a new headquarters for FNB. Officials say other phases will branch out, fostering development in the Middle and Upper Hill District as well. A live look at Pittsburgh International, where a lawsuit centered on confiscated money is moving forward. We first told you about this last year. Terry Rowland's daughter had more than $80,000 seized by the TSA and DEA. She was taking the money back home to Massachusetts to open a joint bank account with her dad. The family eventually got their money back, but not before the Institute for Justice needed to file a lawsuit. This week, a judge rejected a motion to have that suit dismissed. If you love the Pitt Panthers or any other Division I college team on the gridiron or the court, want to listen to this. The U.S. Supreme Court could change the way college sports are run. The nation's highest court heard arguments in a case the NCAA has lost in lower courts. The question now is whether the NCAA can cap education benefits for student athletes. Our Washington correspondent, Samantha Manning, takes a closer look at the case.
College basketball and football earn millions of dollars a year for the schools, conferences, and coaches. The student players aren't allowed to be directly paid, but colleges can offer education-related expenses capped at the cost of attending the school. Now the highest court is tasked with deciding if that cap for Division I basketball and football players should be lifted to allow schools to offer additional benefits like vocational school payments and postgraduate scholarships.
These new allowances are akin to professional salaries.
The NCAA argues it would create a bidding war for players among schools and would blur the line between professional and amateur players.
We cannot restrain schools from awarding to every Division I athlete just for being on the team $5,980 per year, God help us. That is nothing but pay for play.
But attorneys for the former players argue the current NCAA cap violates antitrust laws.
Petitioner's complaint is not a legal one.
Former athletes say they should be allowed to be rewarded for their hard work.
It will be life-changing for these athletes.
The justices are now weighing the role of the court in the matter.
So I worry a lot about judges getting into the business of deciding how amateur sports should be run.
Major associations like the NFL, NBA, and WNBA are all urging the justices to side with the former athletes and rule against the NCAA cap. The Pirates open the season today. After enjoying Florida weather for more than a month, they will start with a dose of winter. In Fort Myers this week, it was 84 and sunny, but today in Chicago, temperatures are in the 30s. That's a big change that Derek Shelton says could affect the performance.
It's challenging just because of the fact that you go from 85 to 35, and you have to be very aware of that. You have to be very aware of bodies. I mean, obviously today we were coming in to do some work as a staff, and we made it available if you wanted to show up. And it looks to me like just about everybody's here to get out in the cold weather. But it's something you have to be extremely mindful of.
All 30 teams are in action today, spread out across all time zones. The upcoming season will have COVID protocols like last year, but more and more fans in attendance as states loosen restrictions. The Pirates' home opener is next Thursday, capacity set for 50%. Fans who don't wear masks will be denied entry or kicked out. The only exception is when you're actively eating or drinking in your seat. Masks have to cover the mouth and nose. The team is also going fully digital, and they'll only accept digital tickets. Fans are asked to have the app open and their tickets ready at the gate. We're getting an early start to tick season and prepare for more of them this year. How the weather is playing a part in an uptick in ticks. And you may have already seen the rising prices, and parents with little ones are feeling the crunch right now. The supermarket hikes coming up next. relief fund to help entertainment and hospitality workers in our area has already raised more than $50,000. We first told you about Night Lifeline last month. Workers can apply for micro grants up to $500 to help cover immediate expenses. The group is still taking applications and is looking for more donations to help more people. You can find out how to help and how to donate on the WPXI News app. The next time you head to the grocery store, you might notice the price on some items is going up. The company Kimberly-Clark makes Huggies, Pull-Ups, Scott's toilet paper, and other household staples. Prices on some of those products will go up in June. Experts say most consumer product companies are currently dealing with high manufacturing costs. A new health and wellness center might be coming to Carnegie Mellon University. According to our partners at the Pittsburgh Business Times, the development is part of the university's new master plan. Officials say planning is in the very early stages. It includes renovating and expanding the existing gym at the corner of Tech and Fruh Streets. The facility will be the new home for the school's athletics department. North Allegheny Schools is hosting an online meeting to help families deal with stress and anxiety caused by the pandemic. They'll be talking about how to recognize warning signs of mental health problems, what services are available to students and families, and how to maximize student learning after the pandemic. The program is free and will be held April 12th. They will also have a Q&A session.
Kind of cloudy and gloomy outside with snow and very cold temperatures right now. We switch all of that up as we head into the weekend. I'm going to show you how great Easter weekend looks coming up.
Many people still use paper checks because they think they're safe. Our consumer advisor explains how they could put you more at risk for fraud. Apple is removing the female voice as the default for Siri. With the latest update, iPhone and iPad users will now be prompted to choose their preferred Siri voice when setting up their device. Apple is also introducing 2 new voices that will make them flow more organically through phrases being generated on the fly. Those voices are now available to English speakers worldwide. A new report from consulting firm AlixPartners finds that half of Americans say their spending habits have changed permanently due to the pandemic. About 44% of Americans fall into the most anxious category, meaning they're experiencing the most significant and permanent changes to their buying habits. Young people are feeling the most vulnerable, with 32% concerned about their financial health. Even in the day of digital payment and plastic cards, a lot of people still use paper checks. Our consumer advisor explains how they could put you at risk.
One thing I haven't done in probably 30 years is ever carry a checkbook with me when I'm out and about. Checkbooks are really dangerous to your financial health and potentially could land you in jail. That's because if somebody steals your checkbook or even the numbers on your check, they can cause all kinds of havoc, writing checks as if they're you. And even if your bank helps you by not paying on those checks, the people who receive the checks that bounce can then swear out a warrant for your arrest. I'm telling you, I have talked to people who've had to go in hiding while they tried to clear up the mess from a theft of their checks. And think about what happens when you go to a store. You hand them your check, they scan it, they've got all the information on it, and then they might even hand you your check back. And you think that's safe? That's not safe at all. Cash, credit, or debit card, but never, ever use a checkbook if you can help it. I'm Clark Howard.
Sharpsburg has joined the growing list of communities banning a chemical used to seal driveways. Borough officials say the ban on coal tar will make our corner of the world safer and healthier. Coal tar is often used to seal playgrounds and parking lots. It has a chemical, though, that is linked to certain kinds of cancers. Sharpsburg issued the ban after hearing from a Fox Chapel council member. Last year, Fox Chapel was the first in the state to issue a ban. Shaping up as another bad year for ticks. You may have already seen them in your yard. The National Pest Management Association predicts a warm, wet spring followed by a mild, wet summer will contribute to an increase. Ticks are known to carry Lyme disease, of course, and for 7 years in a row, Pennsylvania has led the country in the number of cases.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
Does cold weather kill ticks, Gordon? Does it help?
It can't hurt.
It can't hurt? Okay. Well, then I'm okay with the snow showers we have. We do have snow showers. Been very scattered today and still looking scattered, but the biggest coverage we have is off to the east in the mountain ridges throughout Westmoreland County and in Fayette County, also around Indiana and southern Indiana County, south of Katanning and southern Armstrong County. We're going to keep that rolling as we head throughout the rest of the day. Small impact with any scattered showers we see today. Why? Well, it's not going to be a lot of it. Low coverage for today, kind of in and out, hit and miss, just like you saw on the radar. Kind of what we're going to continue to deal with as we go throughout the rest of the day. Also, we've been pretty warm. Just the other day we were in the 70s, so the ground temperature and road temperatures are on the warmer side, so anything that falls to the ground likely going to melt. Grassy areas, though, could have little accumulation and maybe even light accumulation in the mountain ridges that I just pointed out. Let's look at the wind. The wind will be something that we'll have to deal with along with the falling snow. Very breezy outside. 14-mile-per-hour wind in Greensburg, 14-mile-per-hour wind in Pittsburgh, and pretty elevated, pretty strong right now in Washington. Heads up to you guys. 18-mile-per-hour wind right now. And that, of course, makes it feel a lot colder. The temperature is already right around freezing, already very cold. Factor in the wind. It feels like we're in the 20s, and we're technically in the afternoon hours right now, so we expect a warm up. Don't expect it today. In the upcoming days, though, we feel like 22 in Pittsburgh. The wind chill in Greensburg, 22. Here's a look at the rest of the day. Notice how during the daylight hours, we feel like we're in the 20s. Very cold. Maybe you have dinner plans or you just plan to be out and about later tonight, sometime this evening. It's going to feel like we're in the teens. We're talking about very cold temperatures, or feeling very cold as we go into the nighttime hours. It's going to be a very cold start to the day tomorrow. The good news is we clear out the clouds, clear out the snow, bring back the sunshine and warmer temperatures. Still cool, but not as cold. 41 for Friday. Getting into the 50s on Saturday, keeping the sunshine. And for your Easter Sunday, I mean, just a really perfect forecast. Thanks to high pressure clearing everything out this weekend. We're looking good with the sunshine. And maybe if you get your Easter egg hunting started in the morning hours, you're going to need a jacket to put on the kiddos. If you wait until later into the afternoon, like around midday, it'll be pushing near 60. And then the high 64 with the sunshine, that'll really be perfect for your Easter Sunday. If you want a reason to look forward to Monday, check out Monday's forecast. Keeping the sunshine, keeping the dry conditions, a little bit warmer, a really nice 66 degrees.
All right, something to look forward to. Thank you, Jessica. It's been almost 10 years since Christopher Meloni left Law & Order SVU. Many fans have been waiting for him and his character, Elliot Stabler, to return, and it's finally happening tonight. Meloni returns to the series that made him a star for an appearance to set up his own spin-off show, Law & Order Organized Crime. Unlike SVU, this show will follow one case throughout the entire first season.
It's me going after the bad guys and finding my footing in this new place, this new world, and solving the crime in 8 episodes. So it's a little bit more sprawling, I guess. I couldn't reach out.
Even though Meloni's got his own show, he will be making crossover appearances with SVU in the weeks ahead. The big night of new shows starts at 8 p.m. with Manifest, followed by SVU and the premiere of Law & Order Organized Crime. And stay with us for WPXI Tonight.
Hey guys, you know what a difference it makes to have the right tool for the right job, right? One of the tools that we use every day, and it makes a huge difference in our quality of life, especially in the kitchen, is great knives. These knives are beautiful. And I love the fact that we always like to bring you special things at special prices. This is actually something you're only going to find with Local Steals and Deals right now, and it's beautiful. These are Japanese carbon forged knives. That's the tradition that really makes a really beautiful knife set. So years ago, I went to Japan, I went to Kyoto, I went to a little shop in the marketplace that used to make samurai swords, and I got 2 knives. After all this time, they're still the only knives I use. The quality of that is amazing. This is that kind of heritage and quality, and I love all the different options. So you have the Santoku set. Look how beautiful it is, full tang, gorgeous handle, beautiful gift box. Here's your 4 steak knives. Here is your 3-piece chef knife set. Here is your bread knife and utility knife. That's another great set. The Nakiri knife, that's serious, right? And we have a knife sharpener. We have the block, and this has the rods. Huge difference, by the way, because when you put your knives in a regular chef block, you do not know what's growing down there. This is going to be something that works for all knives, and it's dishwasher safe. This is something that's actually made by Caloric. They're a company that's been around for about 90 years. They do fabulous quality. And this knife set is that Japanese carbon forged, and I love the whole idea of it. It even has this Cobra design on the blades, which actually helps it go more smoothly through whatever you're cutting to make it an even better performance. These are all on localsteals.com at 27 to 38% off, and they're all going to be ways to make your everyday even better in your kitchen. And that's something that's going to make your food even better.
Getting paid to look at puppies. A dog food company in the UK is hiring 10 people for this study. They want to see if looking at puppies can alleviate stress levels. Of course it can. The study is just one day. Participants must stop every hour and look at social media pictures of a dog, and then they'll track the results with a heart rate monitor. One of Pittsburgh's most well-known hotels is welcoming guests again for the first time in a year. The Omni William Penn Hotel on Grant Street reopened this morning. It was one of a few downtown hotels that remained closed throughout the entire pandemic. The Fayette County Fair is back on for this year. This year's fair is set for July 29th through August 7th. All of the usual events are planned, but there is a chance that things could still change. Volkswagen of America says they are not changing their name to Voltswagen, like a volt of electricity. This all appears to have been a pre-April Fool's Day joke that didn't work out so well. We told you about this earlier this week. The move was touted as a way to reflect the company's new push towards electric vehicles. They even issued press releases and changed their official Twitter page. The fake news release, though, could land Volkswagen in some trouble with the U.S. security regulators because its stock price actually rose nearly 5% after the announcement. Thanks for joining us. That's all for Channel 11 News at noon. Our next newscast is tonight at 5. Have a great day.